So I had on my list this topic of things about will. Uh, what that meant, I don't know because I had specific ideas when I wrote the topic down. So I wanted to do a little bit more about things that I enjoy, things that I like to do or have done, and just give you a little bit more insight into my personal reality and existence, and not necessarily the spiritual side. I want to share personal stuff all the time, but it doesn't mesh with the spiritual topics, so I often don't. For example, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I love Marvel. Now, when I say that, I loved Marvel comics. I do love the movies too, but I had a huge collection of comics, not just Marvel. I read some DC stuff, Green Lantern, Batman. I explored a lot of indie comics. Beautiful writers out there, amazing writers, creators doing that type of work. And I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine, for example, and I just absolutely loved it because of the the way they portrayed a lot of things that needed to be portrayed the way that I envisioned them, type of thing. Put fans in front of the screen or the script, and they're going to do it justice rather than you know what the studios do. But so I've been a big comic fan for a long time, and cinephile is the word most people would describe me as. I've seen so many movies that I walked into watch a movie with a friend one time, and she just looks. She's like, "You've seen everything. How much have you seen?" And I'm like, if it was pre 2015, I have probably seen it. You will probably have a hard time picking a movie that I haven't seen that was more mainstream and not indie. Nowadays, there's so much coming out you can't even keep up. There's just too much content and not enough quality. We need more quality content and less of the content, but more quality content. But with these platforms coming out, they're just left and right. And it's programming. It's programming you to sit in front of a screen, programming you to do that type of stuff. I am someone who loves to travel and be in nature. I've never been happier being in nature out here. This I can't imagine going back to live in an apartment. I sit out here and I've been sitting at this campsite for 3 days, and I'm going like, this is amazing. This is phenomenal to just wake up and experience that. You know, kind of like where my phone is kind of the how I wake up in the morning. And when I wake up, there's birds all around. They have no problem coming to me. The squirrels come up to me. I don't know if that's just training from them being around humans a little more or my energy, but my energy typically just draws animals to begin with. And I can sit here and then they don't care that I'm here. So I love to explore. I love crystals. I've never, other than when I was a kid, I went fossil hunting. But from what I uh, can remember, I've never actually gone like crystal fossil hunting as an adult, where you take a hammer and crack things open. Some people might think that those crystals I show on my videos are me actually going out and finding them. No, they're given to me. They are 100,000% given to me. I even know places where it's like I could go there, I could take a hammer, I could start cracking things open and find some beautiful things, but I don't feel that's authentic to me. So I just tell the world, like, when I'm meant to have something, it'll come to me if I want a gift. And like the Giants giving me that geode the other day, they had felt my energy because I was walking on the ground looking. I'm like, there's got to be geodes on with some of the rock formations on the roadway, and I thought I found one, and I reached down and I looked at it, and here it wasn't. It was just the way it looked in the light, and I was like, oh, I was bummed out. And then the next day, I had a geode sitting by my car, right by in the fire pit that they had. I don't know if they cracked it open overnight or if they left it there. It feels like they've just left it there, shifted things for me to see it and find it. But so I like finding things in nature, but I find them without looking for them. That's what I like to do. I like to explore and just walk around, hike around, which I haven't been on a hike in forever because I've been walking so much here. But and I'm living in it. I'm living in that space. But I like that experience of just wandering and then finding something. Even in cities, I love to wander. I love to just go into a city and start wandering around. I don't do it too much because of the vibration, but I have plans to do it up in Flag soon. I did it in Phoenix. I've done it in other places where I just wander around, get lost, and all that. I don't have fear around that. A lot of people have fear around those types of things. I don't think that way. They'll be like, "Oh, don't go down that road." For me, it's I feel down that road as I turn, and I go, "Do I want to go that way?" And my guys will be like, "No, don't go that way." And then I'll be like, "Okay, I won't go that way." I love art. I don't do a lot of my own art. It's something that because I do it for clients, energetically, I look for other things to do. I love reading as well. And reading's a hard one because I have to be in a vibrational space to do that. I was reading a fiction book this morning, and I have to be in a space where I can sit because you can call them what you want. If you want to say ADHD tendencies, I can hyper focus and read a book straight through, and then I'll get distracted, or I'll energetically not be able to bring my mind down to read. But I love reading. I absolutely loved it. Loved it as a kid, love it now. And specifically, I haven't read comics in a long time, but I used to love comic books and more fiction books, science fiction books, some fantasy, but a lot of fantasy is too dry, too descriptive, too difficult to get through for me. So I stopped reading that genre for the most part and read more science fiction, action oriented, which is interesting because I write books and I'm excited to start not rewriting, but start writing again my fantasy series, which is written the way I enjoy reading fantasy, which is that 50s kind of more pulp type style versus the like super detailed Lord of the Rings, uh, Terry Brooks type stuff. Um, what else? I love my car. She gets me everywhere. She's a happy spirit now that we're traveling. You can actually feel the spirit of cars. You can feel the spirit of cars, and mine is always like, yeah, we get to go somewhere, doing something new. I love animals, my cats. I miss my cats a lot being out here. My mom is watching them, and I'm hoping to get back to them at some point and have the funding to get what I want to get out here so that I have a more permanent space to put them in. And I've done some crazy things in my life too that people would call crazy but aren't too crazy. I mean, I've jumped out of an airplane. That was a blast. I went swimming one time and jellyfish were everywhere, like coming up, like the tides were shifting, the jellyfish were waking and coming up. And that was a scary experience, but a beautiful one at the same time. I've pet tigers. They had tigers at the mall one time, and I don't really believe in that whole thing back then. I was just somebody had bought me the ability to pet the tiger, so I went with them and pet him. And I have a crow talking right above me right now. So I love that type of thing, being able to film these reels and experience nature and have them come in. I don't know what he's getting at, but he's just saying hi. I feel they come back and forth. But those are some of the things I love as I ramble on here and just being free out here. And my point is be authentic to you. Do what you love, experience what you love, have no fear around being you and your authenticity. That's how you really get into a space of loving life, whatever is authentic to you, of being in a joy frequency. So I love you all. I'm grateful for each and every one of you.